there's lots of ups and downs in life, and uh, on the awakening path. And one of the things that I found throughout the years that was helpful was perspective and gratitude. So when you're, this could be used at any part of life, but when you're on the awakening path and you're getting caught in thought loops repeatedly while you try to work on things and see things, there'll be times where you'll spiral and you'll get caught in a thought loop or an emotional loop or both. And you know as you start to pull yourself out of that, or you're working with that, whether through inquiry or meditation or just walking around noticing, one thing that could be a balm for that is perspective and gratitude. So with perspective, AA has a term called terminal uniqueness, where everybody thinks that their own problems are special and that they're the only one who has them. It's kind of indicative of selfing. It's like the selfing mechanism is, I'm special, nobody has it. If not worse than me, then at least quite like me. So I have a right to complain and talk about it in a special way and need special attention or need to get my way. And when we get caught in the thought loops and then they turn into spirals, then we can really become self-absorbed and, um, you know, just really looking from that self view covered over like a lens and not see the other things happening. And so back when I was severely depressed and just angry and just really caught in those loops and frustrated, one way I discovered through perspective and gratitude helped me to deal with that when it would come up. So I would stop, and it was like a moment of stillness in the storm to notice that I was doing that I was really self-absorbed, and I would think about other people who had it worse, or I would think about, like, I don't know, let's just use an example, like you feel like you gained too much weight, or you're not feeling good about yourself for that way, or your body or whatever. Then I might think of someone who didn't have any legs, you know, who got them destroyed in war, or lost them somehow. Or I would think of someone who had cancer and who would wish that they had the body problems that I might feel I had and could do something about it. And then I would also stop and have gratitude for what I did have. And I would think from both those ways to change that feeling state. Or even if it didn't change, to at least be able to say, okay, I'm in a thought loop, I'm in a spiral, I'm spiraling out. And I need to get some perspective, and I need some gratitude. And those two kind of became hand in hand for me as I realized they worked and they did help. Then I would start to rely on them. When I would catch myself getting into a spiral, I would immediately, okay, get some stillness, take a few breaths. What am I doing here? Who might have it worse? Um, you know, Even down to something simple as I'm still alive. Other people are not, and they wish they were, maybe. And I am. So, how bad is it really? And then I would look, and that would be part of my inquiry. And then even if it did not help, it would at least stop the spiral, stop the victim mentality, and I could get a little space. And then within that space, gratitude would roll in right after. And I would either envision with imagery what I was grateful for. I would write it out in sentences, Just sit and feel, think about it, and notice the places in my life where I should have gratitude, where there is a reason to have gratitude, no matter how bad I might think it might be in the moment. So I just wanted to put that out there as two very powerful things that I would use when the thought loops and the identification would try to take me. And it would always, every time I applied those two, it would always slow that down and bring me some stillness.